Good day, I'm Grace Anshelo A. Tolentino, and I'm here to present and discuss other algorithm for linear programming.
Under the other algorithms for linear programming are the dual simplex method, parametric linear programming, and the upper bound technique. The dual simplex method. The dual simplex method can be thought of as the mirror image of the simplex method. The simplex method deals directly with the basic solutions in the primal problem that are primal feasible but not dual feasible. It can move toward an optimal solution by striving to achieve dual feasibility as well. By contrast, the dual simplex method deals with basic solution in the primal problem that are dual feasible but not primal feasible. It then moves toward an optimal solution by striving to achieve primal feasibility as well. The dual simplex method deals with the problem as if the simplex method were being applied simultaneously to its dual problem. If we make their initial basic solutions complementary, the two methods move in complete sequence, obtaining complementary basic solution with each iteration. The dual simplex method is very useful in certain special types of situation. Ordinarily, it is easier to find an initial basic solution that is feasible than one that is dual feasible. However, it is occasionally necessary to introduce many artificial variables to construct an initial BF solution artificially. In such cases, it may be easier to begin with a dual feasible basic solution and use the dual simplex method. Furthermore, fewer iterations may be required when it is not necessary to drive many artificial variables to zero. To start the dual simplex method, we must have all the coefficients in equation 0 non-negative. The basic solution will be feasible only because some of the variables are negative. The method continues to decrease the value of the objective function, always retaining the negative coefficients in equation 0 until all the variables are non-negative. Such as basic solution is feasible and is therefore optimal by the simplex method criterion of non-negative coefficients in equation 0. In maximization form, the problem to be solved is z equals negative 4y sub 1 minus 12y sub 2 minus 18y sub 3. Subjects to y sub 1 plus 3y sub 3 is greater than equal 3. 2y sub 2 plus 2y sub 3 is greater than or equal 5. And y sub 1 is greater than or equal 0. Y sub 2 is greater than or equal 0. Y sub 3 is greater than or equal 0. Since negative right-hand sides are now allowed, we do not need to introduce artificial variables to be initial basic variables. Instead, we simply convert the functional constraints to less than or equal form and introduce slack variables to play this role. The resulting initial set of equations is that shown for iteration 0 in table 7.1. Notice that all the coefficients in equation 0 are non-negative, so that solution is optimal if it is feasible. The initial basic solution is y sub 1 is equals to 0, y sub 2 is equals to 0, y sub 3 is equals to 0, y sub 4 is equals to negative 3, y sub 5 is equals to negative 5, with z equals 0, which is not feasible because of the negative values. The leaving basic variables is y sub 5. 5 is greater than 3, and the entering basic variables is y sub 2. 12 over 2 less than 18 over 2, which leads to the second set of equations labeled as iteration 1 in table 7.1. The corresponding basic solution is y sub 1 equals 0, y sub 2 equals 5 over 2, y sub 3 equals 0, y sub 4 equals negative 3, y sub 5 equals 0, with z equals negative 30, which is not feasible. The next leaving basic variable is y sub 4, and the entering basic variables is y sub 3. 6 over 3 less than 4 over 1, which leads to the final set of equations in table 7.1. The corresponding basic solution is y sub 1 equals 0, y sub 2 equals 3 over 2, y sub 3 equals 1, y sub 4 equals 0, y sub 5 equals 0, with z equals negative 36, which is feasible and therefore optimal. Parametric linear programming is used for conducting sensitivity analysis systematically by gradually changing various model parameters simultaneously. Systematic changes in the C sub j parameters. For the case where the C sub j parameters are being changed, the objective function of the ordinary linear programming model is z equals summation over z equals 1 to the power of n c sub j times x sub j is replaced by z times theta equals summation over z equals 1 to the power of n c sub j plus a sub j times theta times x sub j, where the a sub j are given input constants representing the relative rates at which the coefficients are to be changed. Therefore, gradually increasing theta from 0 changes the coefficient at these relative rates. The value assigned to the a sub j may represent interesting simultaneous changes of the c sub j for systematic sensitivity analysis of the effect of increasing the magnitude of these changes. They may also be based on how the coefficient would change together with respect to the sum factors measured by theta. This factor might be uncontrollable, the state of economy. However, it may also be under the control of the decision maker, the amount of personnel, and the equipment to shift from some of the activities to another. For any given value of theta, the optimal solution of the corresponding linear programming problem can be obtained by the simplex method. This solution may have been obtained already for the original problem where theta is equals to 0. However, the objective is to find the optimal solution of the modified linear programming problem as a function of theta. Therefore, in the solution procedure, you need to be able to determine when and how the optimal solution changes as theta increase from 0 to any specified position number. 7.1 figure illustrates how z times theta, the objective function value for the optimal solution, changes as theta increases. In the fact, z times theta always has this piecewise linear and convex form. The corresponding optimal solution changes just at the value of theta where the slope of the z times theta function changes. Thus, the figure 7.1 depicts a problem where three different solutions are optimal for different values of theta. The first for 0 is less than or equal theta is equals or less than theta sub 1. The second for theta sub 1 is less than or equal to theta is less than or equal to theta sub 2. And the third for theta is greater than or equals theta sub 2 because the value of each x sub j remains the same with each of this interval for theta. The value of j times theta varies with theta only because the coefficient of the x sub j are changing as a linear function of theta. The solution procedure is based directly upon the sensitivity analysis procedure for investigating changes in the c sub j parameter. Example: to illustrate the solution procedure, suppose that a sub 1 equals to 2 and a sub 2 equals to negative 1 for the original Windor-Glasgow problem represented. J times theta equals 3 plus 2 times theta times x sub 1 plus 5 minus theta times x sub 2. Being with the final complex theta is equal to 0, we see that its equation is 0. J plus 3 over 2 times x sub 4 plus x sub 5 equals 36. Would first have these changes from the original theta is equal to 0. Coefficients added into it on the left hand side. J minus 2 times theta times x sub 1 plus theta x sub times x sub 2 plus 3 over 2 times x sub 4 plus x sub 4 x sub 5 equals 36. Because both x sub 1 and x sub 2 are basic variable, they both need to continue alphabetically formed. Because both x sub 1 and x sub 2 are basic variables, they both need to be eliminated alphabetically from equation 0. J minus 2 times theta times x sub 1 plus theta times x sub 2 plus 3 over 2 times x sub 4 plus x sub 5 equals 36. Positive 2 theta times equation 3 minus theta times equation 2. J plus 3 over 2 minus 7 over 6 times theta times x times 4 plus 1 plus 2 over 3 times theta times x sub 5 equals 36 minus 2 sub 2 times theta. The optimality test say that the current BF solution will remain optimal as long as these coefficients of the non-basic variables remain non-negative. 3 over 2 minus 7 over 6 times theta is greater than or equal 0, for 0 is less than or equal theta, then theta is less than or equal 9 over 7. 1 plus 2 over 3 times theta equals 0 for all theta times for all theta is greater than or equal 0. Therefore, after theta is increased past theta is equals to 9 over 7, x sub 4 would need to be the entering basic variables for another iteration of simplex method to find the new optimal solution. The theta would be increased further until another coefficient goes negative, and so on until theta has been increased as far as desired. The upper bound technique avoids this increased effort by removing the upper bound constraint from the functional constraints and treating them separately, essentially like non-negativity constraints. Removing the upper bound constraints in this way causes no problem as long as none of the variables gets increased over its upper bound. The only time the simplex method increases some of the variables is when the entering basic variable is increased to obtain a new BF solution. Therefore, the upper bound technique simply applies the simplex method in the usual way to the remainder of the problem, but with the one additional restriction that each new BF solution must satisfy the upper bound constraints in addition to the usual lower bound constraints. To implement this idea, note that a decision variables x sub j with an upper bound constraints j sub j is less than or equal u sub j can always be replaced by x sub j equals u sub j minus y sub j, where y sub j would then be decision variables. In other words, you have a choice between lettering the decision variables be the amount above 0 or the amount below u sub j times y sub j equals u sub j minus x sub j times u sub j. Because 0 is less than or equal j sub j is less than or equal u sub j, it also follows that 0 is less than or equal y sub j is less than or equal u sub j. Thus, at any point during the simplex method, you can either use x sub j where 0 is less than or equal j sub j is less than or equal u sub j, or replace x sub j by u sub j minus y sub j where 0 is less than or equal y sub j is less than or equal u sub j. The upper bound technique uses the following rule to make this choice. Begin with choice 1. Whenever x sub j equals 0, use choice 1, so x sub j is non-basic. Whenever x sub j equals u sub j, use choice 2, so y sub j equals 0 is non-basic. Switch choices only when the other extreme value of x sub j is reached. Therefore, whenever a basic variable reaches its upper bound, you should switch choices and use its complementary decision variable as the new non-basic variable for identifying the new BF solution. Thus, the one substantive modification being made in the simplex method is in the rule for selecting the leaving basic variable. Recall that the simplex method selects as the leaving basic variable the one that would be the first to become infeasible by going negative as the entering basic variable is increased. The modification now made is to select instead the variable that would be the first to become infeasible in any way, either by going negative or by going over upper bound as the entering basic variable in increase. If the leaving basic variable reaches 0, then proceed as usual with the simplex method. However, if the reaches its upper bound instead, then switch choices and make it complementary decision variable the leaving basic variable. Example: to illustrate the upper bound technique, consider this problem. Thus, the three variables have upper bound constraints. U sub 1 equals 4, U sub 2 equals 15, U sub 3 equals 6. The two equality constraints are ready in proper form from Gaussian elimination in identifying the initial BF solution. X sub 1 equals 0, X sub 2 equals 12, X sub 3 equals 4, and none of the variables in this solution exceeds its upper bound. So, X sub 2 and X sub 3 can be used as initial basic variables without artificial variables being introduced. However, these variables then need to be eliminated algebraically from the objective function to obtain the initial equation 0 as follows. To start the first iteration, this initial equation 0 indicate that the initial entering basic variable is x sub 1. Since the upper bound constraints are not to be included, the entire initial set of equations and the corresponding calculation for selecting the leaving basic variables are those shown in table 7.4. The second column shows how much the entering basic variable x sub 1 can be increased from 0 before some basic variables become infeasible. The maximum value given next to equation 0 is just the upper bound constraint for x sub 1. Increase the coefficient of x sub 1 is positive. Increase x sub 1 to 3. Increase basic variable in the equation from 12 to its lower bound of 0. Equation 2, since the coefficient of x sub 1 is negative, increasing x sub 1 to 1 increase the basic variable in this equation from 4 to its upper bound of 6. This is the table 7.4 equation and calculation for the initial leaving basic variable in the example for the upper bound technique. In the left side is the initial set of equation and the right side is the maximum feasible value of x sub 1. Because equation 2 has the smallest maximum feasible value of x sub 1 in table 7.4, the basic variable in this equation provides the leaving basic variable. However, become x sub 3 reach its upper bound, replace x sub 3 by 6 minus y sub 3 so that y sub 3 equals 0 become the new non-basic variable for the next BF solution, and x sub 1 become the new basic variable in equation 2. This replacement lead to the following changes in the equation. In this equation, negative 2 x sub 1 plus x sub 3 equals 4. Negative 2 x sub 1 plus 6 minus y sub 3 equals 4. Negative 2 x sub 1 minus y sub 3 equals negative 2. X sub 1 plus 1 over 2 y of sub 3 equals 1. Therefore, after we eliminate x sub 1 algebraically from the other equation, the second complete set of equation becomes z plus x sub 3 equals 22, x sub 2 equals 2, y sub 3 equals 8, x sub 1 plus 1 over 2y sub 3 equals 1. The resulting BF solution is x sub 1 equals 1, x sub 2 equals 8, y sub 3 equals 0. By the optimality test, it also is an optimal solution. So, x sub 1 equals 1, x sub 2 equals 8, x sub 3 equals 6, minus y sub 3 equals 6 is the desired solution for the original problem.